they structured it. Like it's
They structured it.
OpenAI has announced that they have done their rigmarole, which is called, they call it, OpenAI says it has completed our recapitalization. The
I know.
OpenAI
I
Foundation.
read that. I saw that line. I was like, recapitulation? What are we doing?
OpenAI Foundation has valued itself at 130 billion and continues to control the OpenAI for profit.
I also have valued myself at $130 billion. Is that how this works?
Did you know that I have a nonprofit throughout? It's called My Kid.
Yeah, exactly.
All the money goes in.
I was told, as far as my children were concerned, they're now a loss and thus cannot be considered a hobby.
I'm just going to start calling my kid negative. She's like, why are you calling me that? Because you're negative on the balance sheet.
I am. Do I tell this story? All right, I'm going to do it. So we had like a call with the kids over the weekend, and my son, in his usual detail-oriented manner, thought it was like for an hour later. So we spent like half an hour, like every other call, waiting for someone to show up and then testing our audio levels. So this morning, I get up, like the kids there was some crazy thing at Verizon. Like the kids just got iPhones for free. Like they just traded their iPhones and got new iPhones. Like, so Mark did this pretty quick. He was really, of course, like, oh, cool, no iPhones, whatever. So Kelly just did hers. And so I woke up this morning and I was greeted by the email I receive every time my daughter gets a new iPhone, which is, Dear Kelly Thurrott, you have your password reset for your Apple account is complete. If this wasn't you, I'm always like, I was like, these are the people that I get hit by a bus tomorrow are going to be charged with going through my online accounts and figuring that stuff out. And I got to tell you, I think it's just gonna all go. I'm gonna put you in charge of my estate planning. I just don't see the level of responsibility I need. Anyhow, OpenAI. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they're now for profit-ish.
Yeah, right.
For the end user, nothing's changing.
I mean, how does?
I know what I'm leaving out. They also agreed to spend or buy $250 billion worth of AI or Azure services. It's a slight detail I left out there.
Now, where's that money coming from? Is there something? Microsoft's in. Okay, so Microsoft's holding in this company is valued at approximately 135 billion. This is based on their self-described valuation, I guess. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. It actually says, excluding the impact of recent funding, Microsoft held a 32.5% stake
so they got
on an as-converted basis for the OpenAI for profit. Well, they were invested in since then, so they're worth more, I guess, is the.
How much money did they put in? 10 billion? Is that what it?
How much did Microsoft put into OpenAI directly?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's like 11, isn't it? But but that's not the number, right? I mean, it's like way more than that.
It's gotta be. I'm just sitting here like doing simple math. Like this is like a banger of an investment by all accounts from a ROI perspective, at least on paper.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I'll be curious to see if Microsoft says anything about this. Their earnings are Wednesday.
Tomorrow, I think, right? Tomorrow? I think it's Wednesday, yeah.
I wonder if that's why they're announcing this today.
This week, we're getting Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, at least. And Alphabet will be in there. They're always at the same time. Yeah, I mentioned this in passing to you offline, but like I've been complaining about the lack of transparency in Microsoft's earnings for as long as I've been writing about them, so for 20 years, whatever. But it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And then the OpenAI stuff is bizarre because, I mean, this is
you have no idea.
Material impacts this company. Like it's kind of bizarre. But I'm trying to find this list of things like questions they had for Microsoft, which were very specific to OpenAI, and yeah, Microsoft has never disclosed its total stake in OpenAI, how the investment structured, fair market value. It's never disclosed a percentage of OpenAI that it owns. Kind of goes on and on, but it's like, yeah, right. I mean, this is very much like this is just both unprecedented and unconscionable, but like Google gives Apple right now to the tune of some 20 something billion dollars a year to be first in search on iPhone. That's an enormous portion of Apple's online services business revenues. They've never disclosed it. Can you imagine someone handing you 20 something billion dollars and like, isn't there some regulation where I have to
Let me be real clear.
tell shareholders this happens? Like,
I could not be more clear. Somebody please hand me $20 billion and then I'll
yeah,
figure
that would
that
be
out.
the first one. Yeah,
Please
then
do that. Somebody
disclosure would be
please.
the last thing you worry about.
Yeah, that'll hit the bank account and you will never, ever hear or see me again.
Oh man, it's just incredible. So
I
this
would torch the
OpenAI thing,
house and just walk away. Grab the kids
you know,
and dog.
so
Yep.
all right, I just to get off of you having $20 billion for a moment.
It was a nice thought. Kept me warm.
You know, Intel is this company that can't seem to get anything right. They have a
Although
foundry.
they had good earnings.
No, they didn't.
I thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Were they just less dumpster fiery than expected?
Explain to me how you generated a $4 billion profit in a quarter, which the government handed you $5.5 billion in cash. Like they lost money. So they have a money losing business. They spun off the foundry, which is a money losing business. The only business that the foundry has right now is Intel pays it to manufacture, I should say, assemble its chips because most of the components come from TSMC or whatever, and or TMSC, whatever the TSMC. Like this is the OpenAI Microsoft is the same relationship. It's like we invest money in you. You're sort of paying us for Azure infrastructure, but we're also shouldering the cost of that. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to find out, what do you think the number's going to be that they spent on CapEx AI infrastructure? 25, 30 billion? Amazon just said they're going to spend 30 billion a quarter in this fiscal year for a total of 120 billion building out AI infrastructure, which by the way, I'm starting to think we don't actually need. You know?
You know what? Can I hug a tree for a second? Because you'll see. The one thing, well, not one thing, but one of the things that may come out of this that I would be very much in favor and a proponent of is one of the things that OpenAI is pushing for right now. Like, we don't have enough energy. Like we don't generate enough energy. Yeah. And this might be the catalyst that actually brings back nuclear power and
yeah.
I mean, Microsoft bought OpenAI, 3 Mile Island or whatever, and they're reopening that. And I think this is going to be the catalyst to really push.
I don't think that's the only nuclear power something that's coming back online.
No. Anybody who has any stake in any nuclear power is calling people up, be like, hey,
this stuff was cancer 2 days ago, but now it's like, yeah, let's get this thing going as quick as we can. Why don't you just harness the power of the sun? How much energy do you need?
Oh yeah, we could do
so that. I can make stupid cartoon pictures of people or whatever it is I'm doing. You know, seriously. Spelling isn't going to check itself. We got to get the AI data center going.
So there's a lot of extremely dumb uses for
a lot of extremely dumb uses of everything. I mean,
there are. I will tell you that I would have a very hard time going back to not using AI for work-related purposes at this point. Now, let me explain how I use it and what I'm talking about here. So, Stardock has a ton of data. We have a lot of different APIs that we talk to for various things. What we've done is at least the software team has put all that data into data lake, but it's not even a data lake. It's really just putting it all exposed to Claude. So now through a single terminal window, I can do something like, I can say, how many page views did the Start 11 page have yesterday? And it will go grab that information. I can also type into there, give me a list of all the software quotes that came in that are about to expire, that are over this value, and then it will just return that information. So basically, I've not replaced, but taken the SQL queries and all of that.
You're talking
off
about
of somebody else.
You've created a dashboard front end essentially, which by the way, you could communicate using your voice, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways you could do that, but it's so much easier because you can just tell Claude to go learn things about it. Like if you're using this to write emails, it's a complete waste of time. Like that is not what people should be using it for.
Okay, that's not entirely fair. How do I say this? I'm not saying it's look, you have to have it. Lots of people can't write well, just like I apparently
Sure,
can't
that's
speak
true.
well.
That is true.
And I know people who write, in my opinion, like in a scary kind of immature way, whatever. But like they definitely benefit from this kind of thing. So like look, that's not life transforming or whatever. I get that, but to me, the central point is in what you're really describing is you could get that information in other ways, but you'd have to do a lot of work. It would take time.
Yep.
And that's the point of this, right? Like you're I use these same examples all the time because they just make sense to me, or they're real. But there are tools I use every once in a while to do something. Like I make that chart for the PC thing every January. Every once in a while I have to actually make a PowerPoint presentation, which I hate. Graphic effects in like I use Affinity, but a Photoshop or whatever, these complex tools. That's not my job. That's not my life. Like I don't have the time to master these tools, so I can do this one thing once and then not touch it again ever, or maybe one more year, whatever it is. And so AI actually solves every one of those problems. Like it's just it's like the democratization of this stuff, because you could spend time, you could watch YouTube videos, you could read books, you could, hire somebody, I guess, pay a lot of money. Or you could like just do the thing. You just said it. You said, show me something about this stuff, and it's pulling in data from whatever silos.
Yep.
Perfect. Yep. Because you're smart, you could figure it out, you could do it, but it's that your time's worth something. Like that's the point. It's saving you time. Now it's we just killed the rainforest in the Amazon.
My time is with 3 baby seals.
Just a matter of priorities.
And also Greenland.
Oh man.